Many people believe that being nice to everyone all the time will lead to appreciation and reciprocation. However, the reality is often quite different. When someone is too nice, constantly saying yes to every request, prioritizing others over themselves, and avoiding conflict at all costs, it frequently results in exhaustion, frustration, and disappointment. Here's how. 1. Burnout from constantly prioritizing others. Being overly nice often means putting others' needs before your own. This can happen at work, in relationships, or even with family and friends. Over time, constantly attending to other people's demands drains your energy, leaving little to no time for self-care. Example, imagine an employee who always takes on extra tasks because they don't want to disappoint their manager or colleagues. They work late, skip breaks, and push themselves beyond their limits. Eventually, they feel physically and emotionally drained, leading to burnout. Burnout can cause fatigue, anxiety, depression, and decreased productivity. It can also lead to resentment toward the very people they were trying to help. 2. Increased stress due to overcommitment. Saying yes to everything leads to overcommitment, which increases stress levels. Overly nice people often feel obligated to help, even when they don't have the time or resources. Example, a friend asks you to help them move, another needs assistance with a project, and your boss gives you an urgent task. All at once, instead of setting limits, you say yes to everything, leading to a hectic schedule and unnecessary stress. Impact. Overcommitment can cause poor time management, decreased sleep quality, and reduce overall happiness. It creates a cycle where you're constantly rushing and feeling. 3. Being taken for granted. When you're always available and always willing to help, people start expecting it. Instead of appreciating your kindness, they assume it's your responsibility to meet their needs. Example, a coworker consistently asks you to do their work, knowing you won't refuse. Your efforts go unnoticed because they assume that's just what you do. Impact. Over time, you feel unappreciated and undervalued, yet the people around you continue to take advantage of your generosity. This can lead to frustration and bitterness. 4. Losing self-respect and confidence. Being too nice can make you compromise your own needs and values just to please others. This slowly erodes your self-respect and confidence. An example, a friend repeatedly asks for financial help, and even though you're struggling, you keep lending them money because you don't want to seem selfish. Impact. Over time, you start feeling like your needs don't matter. This can lead to low self-esteem and a lack of personal boundaries. 5. Attracting the wrong people. Unfortunately, when you're too nice, you attract people who take advantage of kindness rather than reciprocating it. Example, in dating or friendships, overly nice people often attract users, people who manipulate their kindness for personal gain. They are always there when they need something, but disappear when you need help. Impact, this creates one-sided relationships where you give, but receive little in return, leading to emotional exhaustion and heartbreak. 6. Suppressed anger and frustration. Overly nice people often suppress their feelings because they don't want to offend or upset others. However, bottling up emotions eventually leads to internal frustration and emotional breakdowns. The example, you always agree with your colleagues, even when you don't like their ideas, just to maintain peace. Over time, the lack of self-expression builds resentment. Impact, suppressed emotions can lead to anxiety, stress, illnesses, and even unexpected outbursts when the frustration becomes too much to handle. 7. Loss of control over your life. When you let other people dictate your time, decisions, and priorities, you lose control over your own life. Instead of pursuing your own goals, you spend your time fulfilling others' needs. Example, you dream of starting your own business, but you spend so much time helping others that you never get around to it. Impact, years pass and you realize you've been living for others instead of yourself. And this can cause deep regret and dissatisfaction with life. How to avoid these pitfalls? Being kind is a great quality, but it should never come at the expense of your own well-being, mental health, or self-respect. Here are some ways to avoid the negative effects of being overly nice. Learn to say no. Politely but firmly decline requests that overwhelm you. Set clear boundaries. Decide what you will and won't tolerate. Prioritize self-care. Make time for yourself, even if it means saying no to others. Recognize when you're being taken advantage of. If someone only calls when they need something, reconsider the relationship. Balance kindness with assertiveness. You can be kind while standing up for yourself. Final thoughts. Being nice is a wonderful trait, but being too nice can be damaging. Without boundaries, it leads to burnout, stress, and being taken for granted. By learning to balance kindness with self-respect, assertiveness, and emotional intelligence, you can maintain healthy relationships and a fulfilling life. Remember, you can be a good person without being a doormat. Setting boundaries is essential for personal and professional success. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish, it's about maintaining self-respect, mental health, and productivity. Boundaries define what you are willing to accept in different aspects of life, ensuring that your time, energy, and emotional well-being are protected. People who fail to set boundaries often find themselves overworked, underappreciated, and emotionally drained. Whether in relationships, work, or social life, clear boundaries lead to respect, better decision-making, and long-term success. What are boundaries? Boundaries are the limits you set to protect yourself from being overextended, manipulated, or disrespected. They help you define how others can treat you, how much time and energy you are willing to give, and what behaviors you will not tolerate. So different types of boundaries: physical boundaries, how comfortable you are with personal space and touch; emotional boundaries, protecting your feelings and energy from being drained by others; time boundaries, ensuring your time is not wasted or overcommitted; work boundaries, defining your job role, workload, and personal time; financial boundaries, deciding how much financial help you will offer to others; relationship boundaries, setting expectations for respect, communication, and treatment. Without these boundaries, you may end up feeling used, overwhelmed, and resentful. 2, why setting boundaries is crucial for success. A, boundaries help you avoid burnout. Without clear boundaries, you might find yourself constantly saying yes to extra work, social obligations, or emotional labor. Over time, this leads to exhaustion and burnout, making it difficult to function at your best. Example, if your boss expects you to answer emails late at night and you never push back, you'll never have personal time to recharge. Solution: set a firm rule that you won't check emails after work hours, ensuring a healthy work-life balance. B, boundaries increase self-respect and confidence. When you respect your own time, needs, and limits, others will follow suit. Saying no when necessary shows that you value yourself, boosting your confidence and self-esteem. Example, a friend who always borrows money but never repays it asks again. If you say yes every time, they won't respect you. Solution: set a financial boundary by saying, I can't lend money anymore, but I hope you find another way. By standing up for yourself, you gain more control over your life and build inner strength. C, boundaries prevent being taken for granted. If you never say no, people may assume you're always available, leading to unfair expectations and lack of appreciation. For example, at work, you always take on extra assignments without complaints, your boss keeps piling on more, and when promotions come up, someone else who asserted their boundaries gets rewarded instead. Solution: speak up. Tell your manager, I can't take on more right now, but I'd love to discuss a raise or title change for the extra work I already do. When you set boundaries, people will respect your time and efforts more. D, boundaries improve relationships. Healthy relationships require mutual respect, communication, and emotional balance. If one person is constantly giving while the other is taking, the relationship becomes toxic. Example, your partner constantly cancels plans at the last minute. Instead of staying silent, you set a boundary by saying, I value my time. If you cancel without a good reason, I won't be available next time. Impact: this forces the other person to respect your time, strengthening the relationship. When you set and enforce boundaries, you attract healthier, more respectful people into your life. Boundaries help you stay focused on goals. Success requires focus and discipline. If you constantly let distractions or other people's demands take over, you'll struggle to achieve your dreams. Example, you have a personal goal of writing a book, but your friends always pressure you into social events. Solution: set a boundary by saying, I can't go out tonight. I have writing time scheduled. By protecting your time and priorities, you ensure steady progress toward your goals. 3, how to set boundaries effectively. Identify what's draining you. Where in your life do you feel overwhelmed or disrespected? Who takes advantage of your kindness? Be direct and clear. Use simple, firm statements like, I can't take on more work this week. I don't lend money. I need personal space right now. Don't over-explain or apologize. You don't need to justify your boundaries excessively. A simple, no, I can't do that is enough. Be consistent. If you set a boundary, but don't enforce it, people will ignore it. Stand your ground. Accept that some people won't like it. Not everyone will respect your boundaries at first, especially those who benefited from your lack of them. Stick to your decision. 4, the long-term benefits of boundaries: better mental and emotional health, less stress, anxiety, and resentment, increased productivity, more time for your goals, career and personal life, stronger relationships, more mutual respect and less toxicity, higher self-esteem, feeling empowered and in control of your life, more professional success, promotions, recognition, and a solid reputation. Final thought, setting boundaries doesn't mean you stop being kind. It means you are kind to yourself first. People who set boundaries are not selfish, they are self-aware. If you don't set boundaries, others will set them for you, and you may not like where that leads. Memory updated. Saying no is not rude, It's necessary for self-respect. Many people struggle with saying no because they fear being seen as rude, selfish, or unkind. However, always saying yes to others at the cost of your own time, energy, and well-being can lead to exhaustion, frustration, and the loss of self-respect. The truth is, saying no is not rude. It is a form of self-care and self-respect. It allows you to set healthy boundaries, protect your mental and emotional well-being, and prioritize what truly matters to you. Why people struggle to say no. Fear of disappointing others. Many people are afraid that saying no will let someone down or make them upset. Desire to be liked. Some believe that always agreeing with others will make them more likable and accepted. Guilt. People often feel guilty for prioritizing themselves over others. Avoiding conflict. Saying yes seems easier than dealing with someone's potential negative reaction. Sense of obligation. Some feel it's their duty to help, even when it's inconvenient. However, always saying yes can lead to burnout, resentment, and being taken for granted. Learning to say no is an essential skill for maintaining self-respect and personal power. 2, the benefits of saying no. It protects your time and energy. Your time and energy are limited resources. If you give too much of yourself to others, you'll have little left for your own needs and goals. Example, a coworker asks you to stay late for a project that isn't your responsibility. If you always say yes, you'll sacrifice your personal time. Solution. Say, I have other commitments after work, so I won't be able to stay late. By setting limits, you protect your work-life balance and avoid unnecessary stress. B, it commands respect from others. People respect those who have firm boundaries. When you confidently say no, you teach others to value your time and effort. Example, a friend constantly asks for favors but never returns them. Solution, instead of always agreeing, say, I can't help this time. Once people see that you have limits, they are less likely to take advantage of your kindness. 1C, it builds self-confidence. Every time you say no, you reinforce your own worth and priorities. It reminds you that your needs are just as important as anyone else's. Example, you're invited to an event you don't want to attend, but you feel obligated to go. Solution, politely decline, saying, thank you for the invite, but I won't be able to make it. Over time, standing up for yourself will make you feel more empowered and in control of your life. D, it reduces stress and overcommitment. Saying yes to everything can quickly lead to overwhelm and burnout. Learning to say no helps you maintain a manageable schedule and focus on what truly matters. Example, you already have a busy week, but someone asks for another commitment. Solution, say, I'd love to help, but I'm at capacity right now. Saying no ensures that you don't stretch yourself too thin, which keeps you mentally and physically healthy. E, it strengthens genuine relationships. People who truly value and respect you won't be offended when you set boundaries. Instead, they will appreciate your honesty and clarity. Example, a partner pressures you into doing something you're uncomfortable with. Solution, say, I respect your perspective, but I'm not comfortable with that. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect, not obligation. Now, if someone gets angry when you say no, it's a sign they might not respect your boundaries. 3, how to say no confidently and respectfully. Be direct and clear. Instead of making excuses, simply say, no, I can't do that. If needed, provide a short reason. I have other priorities right now. Use a polite but firm tone. You can be respectful while still being firm. I appreciate the offer, but I'll have to decline. It doesn't work for me. Don't feel the need to over-explain. You don't owe people long explanations for your choices. A simple no thank you is enough. Offer an alternative if you want to. If you'd like to help but can't at the moment, you can say, I can't do it today, but I can help next week. Stand your ground. If someone pressures you after you've said no, repeat yourself firmly. I already said I can't, and that hasn't changed. 4, the mindset shift. Stop seeing no as a bad thing. Many people associate saying no with being rude or unkind, but in reality, saying no is a sign of self-respect. Saying no ensures that you focus on your own priorities. Saying no helps you avoid burnout and resentment. Saying no allows you to give a full yes to things that truly matter. By practicing saying no more often, you create a healthier, more balanced life where you are in control of your time and energy. Final thought, saying no is not about being mean or selfish. It's about honoring your own needs, boundaries, and well-being. When you learn to say no confidently, you gain freedom, respect, and control over your life. Remember, a well-placed no today can prevent stress, resentment, and regret tomorrow. Standing up for yourself is a vital skill that not only fosters self-respect, but also cultivates respect from others. And so people tend to admire and respect individuals who are confident, assertive, and unafraid to speak their truth. These individuals don't tolerate mistreatment, manipulation, or disrespect, and this assertiveness sends a clear message that they value themselves. However, Many people hesitate to stand up for themselves because they fear conflict or rejection. They may worry about coming across as rude, selfish, or confrontational. Yet, asserting your needs, desires, and boundaries is not only necessary, but it is also a form of self-care and often leads to stronger, more authentic relationships. Standing up for yourself builds confidence. When you consistently stand up for yourself, you build a strong sense of self-confidence. Each time you assert your needs, whether in personal, professional, or social situations, you reinforce your self-worth. This confidence comes from knowing you're not afraid to speak your truth and that you trust yourself to handle difficult conversations. Example, if someone speaks over you during a meeting, you politely but firmly say, "I'd like to finish my point." Impact. By standing up in this way, you demonstrate to yourself that your voice is valuable and that you have the power to assert yourself without fear. Over time, this consistency creates a resilient mindset, enabling you to face challenges with confidence. 2, people value integrity and authenticity. When you stand up for yourself, you signal that you are authentic and true to your values. People respect individuals who are not afraid to express their true thoughts, even when it might be uncomfortable. This authenticity builds trust because others know you will not compromise your beliefs just to please them. Example, if someone invites you to an event you don't want to attend, you politely decline, saying, "I appreciate the invite, but I'm not interested." Impact. By being honest, you show that you are aligned with your values and that you prioritize what matters to you. People respect this level of transparency because it eliminates guessing games and fosters genuine connections. 3, standing up for yourself demands respect from others. One of the most powerful outcomes of standing up for yourself is the respect you earn from others. People who fail to assert themselves often end up being overlooked, taken advantage of, or disrespected. However, when you draw boundaries and speak up for your rights, others recognize your strength and begin to treat you accordingly. Example, if a colleague repeatedly asks you to cover their tasks without reciprocating, and you finally say, "I can't keep covering for you," without help in return, impact. They now see you as someone who won't tolerate unfairness, and they are less likely to take advantage of you in the future. By respecting yourself enough to assert your needs, you create a dynamic of mutual respect. 4. It sets healthy boundaries. Standing up for yourself involves setting healthy boundaries, whether with family, friends, coworkers, or even strangers. These boundaries define what you will and won't tolerate and help you avoid being overwhelmed, drained, or manipulated. When you communicate your limits effectively, others will understand your boundaries and are less likely to push them. Example, a friend repeatedly asks you to cancel plans because they're running late. Solution, you say, "I value my time and I won't wait past the agreed time. If you're late, I won't be able to join." Impact. This boundary prevents the friend from treating your time as unimportant and teaches them to respect your schedule. In both personal and professional settings, boundaries protect your emotional health and ensure that others treat you with respect. 5, it encourages self-worth and self-care. When you stand up for yourself, you're telling others that you value your time, energy, and well-being. This reinforces the idea that you are deserving of care and respect. Without standing up for yourself, you might find yourself sacrificing your health, happiness, or goals to please others. Example, you're constantly asked to take on extra work that drains your energy even when it's not part of your job description. Solution, you assert yourself by saying, "I'm unable to take on more right now because I need to focus on my current responsibilities." Impact, by prioritizing your own well-being, you make it clear to others that your health and happiness are important, fostering respect for your time and efforts. When you take care of yourself, others are more likely to follow suit and respect your needs. It reduces conflict and resentment. Ironically, standing up for yourself can actually reduce conflict in the long run. When you don't express your feelings or assert your boundaries, resentment builds up over time. This passive approach can lead to frustration, irritability, and eventually explosive conflict. On the other hand, addressing issues early and directly helps you avoid misunderstandings and tension. Example, you've been asked to take on extra work without compensation and it's bothering you. Instead of bottling up your feelings, you bring it up respectfully. "I enjoy helping out, but I think we should discuss how my extra efforts will be acknowledged." Impact. By addressing the issue directly, you avoid building up resentment, and the situation is handled in a way that benefits both you and the other party. Standing up for yourself allows you to express your feelings honestly without letting them simmer into bigger problems. 7, it encourages empowerment and accountability. People who stand up for themselves encourage a culture of empowerment and accountability. When you assert your needs or values, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions show that it's okay to take ownership of your decisions and speak up when something isn't right. Example, a colleague is being unfairly treated by a manager, and you step in to offer support and advice on how to address the issue. Impact. By standing up for your own rights and helping others do the same, you become a role model of empowerment. Your willingness to assert yourself inspires others to be more confident, ultimately fostering an environment of fairness and respect. 8. People appreciate accountability. Another key reason people respect those who stand up for themselves is because they are often accountable for their actions. When you stand up for yourself, you accept responsibility for your choices and actions rather than blaming others or avoiding difficult situations. People tend to respect those who are honest, direct, and accountable for their words and deeds. Example, if you made a mistake at work, instead of covering it up, you admit it and work on a solution. Impact. Your integrity and accountability build respect from others because they trust that you'll always be upfront and responsible for your actions. Final thought, standing up for yourself isn't about being confrontational or selfish. It's about valuing your own worth, communicating your needs, and ensuring that your boundaries are respected. The more you assert yourself, the more respect you earn from others, and the more empowered and fulfilled you feel. Remember, self-respect is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, and standing up for yourself is an essential practice for maintaining it. Conclusion, standing up for yourself is a powerful act of self-respect and personal empowerment. It is not about being rude or selfish. Rather, it is about prioritizing your own well-being, setting healthy boundaries, and communicating your needs with confidence and clarity. When you assert yourself, you show the world that you value your time, energy, and emotional health. And in doing so, you teach others to respect you as well. While it may feel uncomfortable or difficult at first, standing up for yourself leads to stronger, more genuine relationships, better self-esteem, and a sense of control over your life. It encourages authenticity, reduces stress, and empowers you to live in alignment with your true values. Remember, the more you practice standing up for yourself, the more you will find that others begin to respect and appreciate your boundaries. Self-respect is the foundation of healthy relationships, personal growth, and a fulfilling life. So embrace your power, assert your needs, and watch as your confidence, respect, and well-being grow.